welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be showing you how I made this Hello Kitty basket. I will let you know I did not plan to do a tutorial, so I'm going to do my best to explain what I did and the parts that I recorded. Let's get started. This is the beginning. Very simple. You just want to start off with a magic circle and increase as normal for a circle each round. Everything is written on the screen, so there's no worries. Just pause and continue. Okay, moving right along. This is the basic circle for what I did. If you want to make this wider and or larger, just go ahead and keep your increases going. So once you are happy with the base, you want to just single crochet in each round and continue to do that all the way until you reach your height. For example, I went up 10 rows and then completed my handles. When you are 2 rounds away from your desired height, use this exact count to place the handles perfectly opposite from each other if you used the same stitch base as I use. So if you have 60 stitches, please follow this next part and your handles should land perfectly opposite of each other. If not, just make sure that they're opposite of each other. For this particular part, I single crocheted along the top, and then once I got to my handle, I single crocheted around the chains that I left open. I left these chains open so the handle will have a little more stability instead of just regular chains across. So I decided to crochet around it so it can be a little more stable. And then I continued the pattern and went into each stitch with a single crochet and finished that off until the end. This is what it looks like. This is how it came out so far. And moving on, so going into the next round, the only thing I did was create a row of slip stitches. And I did that around the entire last row, across the handles and back around. And now for the ears, I have placed how I created my ears right on the screen. You will start off with a magic circle and or a chain 4, slip stitching into the first stitch and creating your circle. And then we are working in a half circle. So instead of closing the ring, we will just turn our work. We will continue to work back across the stitches we just placed into the ring. So that's how I made the ears. Just work back across, turn your work back across. And you want to do this for as big as you want your ears to be. just like this, very simple, and make sure you have two. So onto the bow, very simple. I held 2 strands of weight 4 yarn together because I didn't have any chunky pink yarn, so I just held 2 weight 4s together. And simple enough again. I have placed the instructions on the screen. Very simple. And finally, putting it together, very simple. You're just going to sew the ears on, recounting how many rows you have. You want to match that to the stitches across, choosing one side of your basket and making sure that you align however many stitches you have going across the bottom of the ears with how many stitches you have on the top of the basket. And to keep it simple, I used a stitch marker, counted the space I have in between my ears and how many stitches it took for me to get across, and I just stitch marked that. Make sure they were relatively even, and simple as this, I just whip stitched them on, cross stitch, I don't know what it's called, but I just went back and forth and sewed them on. Very simple. So for this part, I actually did not record how I made the eyes in the nose. So I will put the instructions on the screen. For what I did, I kind of just freestyled it. I used black yarn. I used a 3.75 crochet hook, and I crocheted in an oval instead of a circle. You can crochet your eyes however you may see fit, as best as you see fit. And then when I did attach them, and to be honest, you guys, this took me a couple tries, so I had to keep taking it apart, putting it back together, because I just freehand things and I don't attach and put things in place as I should. So save yourself some time and kind of figure it out beforehand, because my eyes was all over the place at first. So wherever you feel like you have them positioned, you want to just sew them on. So I used a sewing needle and some thread. I didn't want to use yarn. I didn't want it bulky. I didn't want to glue them on because I didn't want it to fall off. So I just used regular thread, and this is a gray color, and I just literally sewed them on. So you do as best as you see fit and what you feel comfortable with doing, and attach your nose and eyes accordingly. So this is what I did for this and the nose. This is what I did for the eyes and the nose. And I made the nose the exact same way, used the exact same hook. I just did less rows. And of course with the eyes, I had them going vertically, up and down. And for the nose, I turned it horizontally so it can go left to right. So that's why they look like they may be different shapes, but they're the exact same pattern. Exact same. So just do this as best as you can and what you're comfortable with. And yeah. So the next part is attaching the bow. I did nothing special or extra. I just attached some yarn, made sure, I don't know, I did it 3 different ways, and you just do what best works for you, because to be honest, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I just kind of went in this like diagonal way or something, and I just put it on there. I tied it in the inside because I thought, hey, maybe I want to take this off or remove it or change it or something. So I didn't want to have something too permanent, I would say. So I simply just attached it as best as I could, and then I just tied it in the inside because I was like, hey, I may want to change this. Yeah. So very simple, very easy. I just found the place I wanted to put it. You know, gave it a little twist, made it a little cute, and then I just tied it. Kept it real easy, real simple. And also for the whiskers, I just embroidered that, however you say that. I just like took some black yarn and tried to match it to a picture of Hello Kitty as best as I could. And so I just made 3 whiskers along the sides, made sure I tried to make them as even as possible, because I'm telling y'all, them eyes gave me problems, and one was here, one was there, and then they were everywhere. So I don't know, I just tried my best and I just made it look as good as I could. So you just want to make 3 or 4 whiskers, whatever you feel comfortable with. There's no right, there's no wrong way. Just whatever picture you see of Hello Kitty and you like, you just make how many whiskers you like. As you see, my yarn is there on the inside. At first I didn't want yarn in the inside, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just going with the flow. This is going to be what it is. So this is what I did. Literally, I played around with it several times. Same thing with the whiskers, and yeah. So once I liked the position, I just tied it in. Same thing with the whiskers, y'all. I can't keep saying that, but for real, I just figured it out, did it to the best of what I thought it would look good, and kept it at that. And yeah, so this is how she came out. I hope this was enough explanation for you guys. I should have done a whole tutorial, but I did not. I didn't even plan. Luckily, I even thought to record the parts that I did because I didn't know how this was going to turn out. I just freehanded it, so I didn't know what I was getting into or doing. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And if you have any questions, please feel free to, I was about to say call. Oh my gosh. Please feel free to leave me a comment. Ask me anything you need with any more clarification, and I'll be happy to answer it. And here she goes. So that's it, you guys. I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time. Audio Jungle.